So today I read a story that made me more aggravated than I have probably been in a very long time. And I know that this may not seem like the right time for me to sort of plug my own channel, but I really do think that this is important information for people to hear. So if you would not mind doing me the favor of smashing the subscribe button and sharing this information with other people. Because like I said, this is important, and I can guarantee you that this is stuff that the news isn't covering correctly and they're not giving you a fair opinion on. So the title of this CNN article is, "They Couldn't Say Goodbye in Person, so ICU patients are using tablets instead." How thoughtful. Thank you. I can't say goodbye to my family members, but you're going to allow me to FaceTime them? I hope the connection doesn't drop out. That would just be terrible. I'm telling you right now, if one of my family members were in the ICU and they were having a hard time and it's not looking like they have many hours left, I am going into that room one way or another. Someone's getting thrown out the window like an action movie or something, because I'm getting into that room no matter what. I'll be FaceTiming them from jail. If pretty much the same experience, right? If it doesn't matter to actually be there in person to see the person that you love dying. These people have no regard for human life at all. And it's disgusting. Just look at this picture here. This guy, all alone, pretty much just an iPad facing towards him, the doctor holding onto his wrist as if treating him like an alien. She's in a latex spacesuit pretty much, holding onto this guy's wrist as if trying to measure his pulse. You know how uncomfortable that is when a doctor holds onto your wrist? That shit makes my heart rate jump up like 200 beats a minute. Yet this is supposed to be just the new standard. This is what they expect people to die with. Being treated like an alien, as if they just landed from another planet and everyone's afraid of them. It makes no sense, and it honestly is so disgraceful. It says, when Dr. Mark Shapiro posted about a patient saying goodbye to his family via an iPad, he wanted to communicate to others the severity of this pandemic. Oh, well, thank you, Dr. Shapiro. Thank you very much. Yes, it's so severe. So severe that you can't even go in there to see your family members as they die. I guarantee, with this 99.9% survival rate, people are willing to take that risk. They would throw on any type of rubber spacesuit that you Sorry. Still need to keep it YouTube friendly. They'd throw on any type of rubber spacesuit that you would want in order to be there with that family member. And like I said, I'd be throwing people out the window. I'm getting into that room. And that's a fact. It says, as the ICU team makes ready, there's a key step we mustn't forget, Shapiro. We mustn't forget. Shapiro, who is a hospitalist at Santa Rosa Memorial Hospital in California, of course, wrote on Twitter, "At first he says no, but we encouraged him. The nurse brings in the iPad with the last air in his shattered lungs. He says goodbye to his family over an internet connection." Can you believe that? He says no, he doesn't want to face his FaceTime to be the last thing, the last memory that he has on this earth of his family. And they encourage him. Funny how they encourage him only to have someone behind a glass screen here take a picture of him as if he's an animal at the zoo. It makes no sense. Tell me how that makes sense to you. I wonder what kind of encouragement they gave him. This guy probably has never used FaceTime a day in his life, but they somehow magically encouraged him only to take a picture of him and post it on social media, trying to express how severe this pandemic is. These people are disgusting. And I'm sure that this is the type of content that YouTube won't want me posting, but I don't even care. What do I have to lose? My rights? They're already taking that away. It makes no logical sense that a disease with a 99.9% survival rate for most people who are under the age of 75 somehow results in this, having to FaceTime someone while Apple reeks in the profits of it. They're just raking it in. Hey, more iPads for us. Hey, the richer get rich. Or the rich get richer, as it goes. So funny how everything in this pandemic sort of correlates back to that, right? All these big companies manufacturing all these products that should just be dispersed while you get all of your rights taken away and you can't even see your family members as they die. But oh, it's a good thing you got this doctor here in her rubber spacesuit trying to take care of you, holding onto your wrist while you're talking to your family members. Something that would probably give me an aneurysm instead, just from like the sheer tension of it. I hate when the doctor grabs onto my wrist. It puts me into a panic every time because it's like, uh-oh, is my heart rate too fast? Is it too slow? And I'm sure as someone dying on their deathbed, it might be a little bit more intense than that, especially while you have someone behind the glass taking a picture of you that you can clearly see. It says hospitals have been overwhelmed by the thousands of patients coming in every day after contracting coronavirus. Across the U.S., there's been a shortage of hospital supplies for medical staff and beds for patients. However, I've read many times, and this is just what I've heard, that is not the case. I mean, I've seen many doctors even state that they have an overwhelmingly large amount of or supply of ventilators and stuff like that. And even in many instances, the hospitals didn't even notice much of an impact because people didn't feel like coming in for menial illnesses anymore. The only thing people would come in for was coronavirus, and it's like, well, you have a 99.9% chance of surviving, so might as well wait that one out in your house. And even so, America is about having the right to choose. It is your right to stand there with your family. I mean, it's not necessarily your right, but it is definitely something that should not be able to be taken away from you. The ability to see your family member for their last moments. Yeah, no, here's an iPad. I hope you don't lose connection on it. That would just be terrible, right? Hey, say goodbye. Hey, doctor, wave to the camera. This was a fun time. A happy, fun time for everyone, right? I got an idea instead. How about the people who go in to see the family member quarantine themselves at home afterwards? Take a test and see if they're negative 2 weeks afterwards. I bet everyone would be okay with that, instead of just manufacturing this fake happy society where this guy's encouraged to FaceTime his family members for what little time he has left. Another statement here says, when it came to COVID, hospitals basically barred visitors, Booker told CNN. If a patient is positive with COVID, we don't want to run into the risk of someone else contracting it. So this is the best way for patients to still get to be with their loved ones. Now that's a statement, these whole arguments I don't even understand at all. That's like viruses are going to spread no matter what. You can't keep people locked down forever. There's no way to get around it. Yet they treat it as if it's the end of the world for a disease with a 99.9% survival rate for most people across the United States. They treat it as if it's the end of the world, making it so that you can't even see people that you are close to dying. That doesn't make any sense. People really need to wake up and think for themselves instead of listening to the fact checkers around the world. Seriously. It says it's sad that we've come to this, Booker said. Just from a standpoint of our situation, some of this is what we've created ourselves by virtue of not following the science, not social distancing, not wearing the masks, because those things are still happening. We're also still putting our loved ones at risk. The classic, oh, you're going to kill grandma if you go out and don't wear a mask. Even though people have been doing this, most of society is okay with doing these crazy mandates that honestly shouldn't even have been put in place in the first place. When we actually were first discovering what the disease was like, I could understand it. But now after this, you got to live your life. Make your own choices for yourself and stop listening to what these news media tell you. Because I'm telling you, they are in on the whole thing. They don't care about your life. Gavin Newsom doesn't care about your life. He'll tell you exactly, hey, you need to listen to these mandates as he goes out to eat for nothing. You have one of the other governors literally calling from vacation. He's on vacation in some, I'm sure, warm and exotic place that costs a lot of money to go to. And he tells people from there to stay locked down and that they have no right to leave. In Europe, I've seen that they have different cards now for high-up executives, people who make a lot of money. They're exempt from the travel bans. They're exempt from the lockdown. They can do whatever they want because they're important people, definitely more important than you and your family. You get to FaceTime them. What do you think would happen if Newsom's mother or something was dying? You think that he would sit there FaceTiming her? He would be in the room with her. They'd probably be in some high-up suite, giving her all the care that they need as he's right next to her, probably not even wearing a mask because they don't care. These people just lie straight to your face. They have no regard for your life or anyone else's. And that continues to lead us to Facebook bans misinformation about coronavirus vaccine as if they haven't been doing that for so long already. How many different people have you heard about saying that their accounts have been limited on the reach that their different posts have? Anything that they claim as disputed, anything that it doesn't even matter what it is. They can dispute whatever they want, writing it off as, I know in the case of the ballots being pulled out from under the table, they said, these aren't suitcases, they are actually ballot boxes. That's their fact check that makes it so that they can limit the amount of people who see your information. You want them telling you what you can and can't see? No, no one does. No one wants this big tech conglomerate. But yet people still just submit to it and allow them to spit in your face as they laugh behind your back and still rake in the money. Apple making a ton of money. Hey, yeah, just install some iPads in there. Don't give people the choice. That would just be crazy, right? Yet we're the crazy conspiracy theorist fascists who just want to control society, right? Like, what fascist in the world has ever stated, yeah, I think people should be allowed to make their own choice for themselves, calculate the risk. If you're a more at-risk person, it's probably likely that you should stay at home. What fascist makes a statement like that? I can tell you what a fascist would do. They'd tell you how to live your life while they go and do whatever they want. Walk right on top of you. Make it so that this big movie studio in California can move in right next to the business of yours that they just destroyed. As it has the exact same setup. The same outside venue. But they laugh at people like you. It says, for example, we will remove false claims that COVID-19 vaccines contain microchips or anything else that isn't on the official vaccine list ingredient list. We will also remove conspiracy theories about COVID-19 vaccines that we know today are false, like specific populations are being used without their consent to test the vaccine's safety. We will not be able to start enforcing these policies overnight since it's early, and facts about COVID-19 vaccines will continue to evolve. We will regularly update the claims we removed based on guidance from public health authorities as they learn more. Yeah, the public health authorities that we choose. We won't listen to the World Health Organization, one that actually is pretty much bought out in just the same way, telling you that lockdowns are useless. We won't listen to those experts at all because they don't align with our goals, our end goals for society. That's not fascist at all. That's just normal democracy, patriotic behavior, right? But Trump's the fascist. You should listen to us, but not him. We just want to control your life and take away your rights. What's wrong with that? Mark Zuckerberg has already announced Facebook's intention of partnering with Joe Biden with his COVID response. Wow, that's so crazy that they have already partnered with someone that they don't even know is the president yet. I wonder how they would have made that decision. I wonder if they are like one of the people who would have been in on this whole big reset of the global economy because they're at the top of the food chain and you're not. Crazy how they're already planning these things out as if they knew that Joe Biden would win. I wonder why that is. Yet this is the fairest and most honest election we've ever had. It's disgusting. And let me also ask you this. Tell me this. Would they ban something like this then?
This is a homemade face mask.
Here we have Bill Nye, the
There's
true
just
scientist.
2 layers of cloth with a pipe cleaner sewn in to help it fit against the bridge of your nose. And it blocks the movement of air very effectively.
Can you believe this?
If you're wearing one of these, you're protecting.
You hear how he is blowing into that? He's blowing into it as if he's a little kid trying to blow out a birthday candle as he's spitting all over the cake. Like he's purposely making it so that barely just a tiny bit of air is coming through his mouth, and it's still moving the candle flame around as if nothing was there. It's insane to me. If he would have just like, that's how you blow. I don't know what he's doing there at all. But this is real information that the public needs to see. This is how it protects you. And I mean, it makes no sense at all. You can try this yourself. And even then, some of the masks do a better job of like protecting in front of your face. But you'll see as you blow into it and it bubbles out, air just spews right out the side as air does. It'll inflate the mask and then push air straight out the sides. Yet this is real information that your family should be following, not the fake news that other people are telling you with the 99.9% survival rate. It's disgusting behavior. How are these people in power, man? America's begun being bought out at a rate that is it's never before been seen how many people are bought out in America We're selling everything to China, and people are just sitting by and cheering for it. These people don't even know what they voted for. But that's it for this one. I just needed to talk about this. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.